Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip, and in today's video, we got a lot of big stories. Bitcoin struggling with the $40,000 price level. Are we going to break below, or are we going to break up? You don't know. We're going to find out. I got three big stories for you today. Senator Elizabeth Warren is actually going to be proposing a bill. She actually proposed a bill to the Senate. We got to see what that's about. It regulates crypto, looking at CZ and Binance buying banks. That's a big story. And also price predictions for 2022 of Bitcoin in the millions. We got to take a closer look at that one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So it's a great day here. The date is March 17th, and it is a wonderful day. We got cryptocurrency on the move, but we do want it to move quicker. So make sure you do tap the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the chat box down below. Take advantage of our free referral bonuses, Femex and Crypto.com available for you. Don't pass up on that free money, guys. So let's jump into the story for the day. So first, let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market caps. We are currently sitting at a market cap of $1.8 trillion for cryptocurrency. We're about in the same spot. Bitcoin dominance still at 42%. Ethereum dominance at that 18.5%. Gas fees lower today. You know what? It looks like ApeCoin isn't in the biggest gainers today. We talked about ApeCoin yesterday. Not pumping. There's still some pumpers, but some stuff obviously you never heard of. Bitcoin again, looking down 1% for the day. Not worried about it. It's Friday. Friday can be a volatile day. There's also a full moon, so be on the lookout for a move considering a full moon. Some people think that lunar cycles actually have an effect on cryptocurrency and markets. That's something we might do a video on at some point. You would actually see some amazing correlation there. XRP still below that 80-cent level. Everything's just kind of, Terra Luna down 6.22%. So we're down a little bit today. It looks like the market cap didn't move, maybe 10, 20 billion, which in a multi-trillion-dollar market cap's nothing. But, you know, let's take a look specifically at Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin at for us today? So we are struggling with this ascending wedge. You see it going up here. We can see this pattern, and I could even draw some indicators here. And in another video, I'll draw some more indicators moving forward. I think that'll be valuable for us. But we're watching, see this line going up and this one coming down. They're condensing, and like I said in the last video, we're going to condense right around here. It stopped cold at that $42,000 level, and we're going to bounce right back down. I'm sure we'll bounce to that $38,000, $39,000 price level, something like that, and probably bounce right back up. I'm sure we'll have a couple other tic-tac-toes going up, down, and then eventually we're going to have a breakout. But the question is what kind of breakout are we going to have? Are we going to have a breakout back up towards our all-time high at 69K? Or are we going to hit our floor down at, I don't know, the 30K level where all our institutions were buying right in this range, kind of in here? Time will tell, but so will the stories for the day. And here's a big one. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a big friend of the banks, also cracking down on institutions like Goldman Sachs, coincidentally, and slamming oil companies. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democratic senator, is actually trying to crack down on the Russians' use of Bitcoin to evade Ukraine sanctions. So what does that mean? Well, she came out and she did a big hearing the other day where she was grilling one of the owners of one of these exchanges and trying to pin them in getting them to agree that Russian oligarchs are able to avoid these sanctions using cryptocurrencies. And if you watch the video, it's actually amazing because this guy is trying to argue that no, it doesn't. And before he's even able to give out his answer, she cuts him off, because all that a senator is looking for in these hearings is the answer to their question, which will prove their point, which will get their bill passed. She wants her bill passed. She wants to crack down on cryptocurrencies. Well, what does the bill mean? So here's the claim. Putin and his cronies can move, store, and hide their wealth using cryptocurrencies, Warren said. In a statement, we can't allow them to find Russia's war against Ukraine and evade our economic sanctions by using crypto. The legislation would try to shine more light on the shadowy, largely unregulated world of cryptocurrency and virtual assets whose hallmark is anonymity, which is really a bad statement because the blockchain's all about transparency. I mean, you can see everything that's going on a ledger. And if she had let this crypto exchange guy that she was grilling in this hearing speak, he would have been able to prove a point and rebuttal her. But that wasn't the point of the hearing. The point of the hearing was to get her point across, which is kind of just how that goes. So here's another quote by her. So right now, millions of transactions are taking place that are completely unregulated and with no one verifying who gets what. Well, no one person is verifying it, but a blockchain is, Senator Warren. And then that means, well, sanctions can make it very difficult for Russian companies, political leaders, and billionaires to move money around. In the traditional financial system, there is another shadow, unregulated world that they can turn to. So this is the argument from Senator Elizabeth Warren. And what she really wants to do is she wants to crack down on any exchange that doesn't know every single person using the platform, which, we're in the infancy of this thing. And there's a lot of these exchanges that are still trying to figure out how to track all their members and users. And, it's an interesting point, and it is interesting that we don't know, but also I don't want America, and I don't think us crypto holders want America, or just financial investors want America regulating every single policy. I mean, I was actually watching a video of her criticizing Federal Chair Jerome Powell, and like him or don't like him, I'm not arguing for Jerome Powell, but what I am arguing for is he's been kind of loosening the screws on regulation and the crackdown of regulation, and just little pieces at a time. And there's a video that I watched of Senator Elizabeth Warren yesterday where she goes into how she does not like him. She wants a new nominee for the federal chair position instead of Jerome Powell because she wants more regulation. We want more regulation is what she says. And Jerome Powell's been actually kind of slowly loosening regulation, according to Senator Warren. And you can agree or disagree with that, but there's clearly an agenda here. She wants more hawkish policies. She wants more. And what, I get really bugged by with I'm not going to say if, it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. What it is it's politicians, and they're funded by big money. They're funded by oil companies. They're funded by pharmaceutical companies. They're funded by the big banks. They're funded by these hedge funds. They're funded by a lot of these really big companies. And what's crazy is somebody like Senator Elizabeth Warren is talking about how the oil companies are a threat, and this is all to punish the oil companies and big banks and blah, blah, blah. But really, at the end of the day, when the government gets more regulation, and then the leaders that run the government are elected by the big winners that aren't regulated as much as the smaller guys and the up and coming projects, and something that, is less regulated where maybe it's newer, like new cryptocurrency exchanges, but the advantage goes to the big boys. And so they bash, and when I say they, I mean the politicians bash the big boys, but yet they get their pockets lined by the big boys. And there's just such a disconnect. I don't think that this bill passes for a second. There's 10 senators that are behind her, and the head of the chair and the blah, 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 not chair. There's a bunch of, people that nobody cares about that are backing this. It's not going to get passed. You got too many senators and too many people that are actually backing crypto for this law to pass, but it's a big political statement. And I'd love to see this hit a debate stage in the next presidential election, because she wouldn't stand a chance in the polls. I mean, Bitcoin and crypto's here. And that's why you're watching this channel. That's why you guys are looking for these stories. We don't want people who are going to overregulate. We want people who are going to move us towards the future. We need to move away from the traditional financial systems, and we need to move towards something more efficient. The traditional financial systems have got us into $1 trillion of debts. When I say us, I mean the United States of America. I'm sure you've seen our debt clock. It's a perfect example why, this is done. We can never recover from this debt that we're in, and we need something new. Cryptocurrencies, that this bill would block the future from happening in some capacity. And that's just not what we want as crypto holders. So another big exchange is that Binance CEO CZ says that firm is looking to buy into banks and payment system processors in Brazil. So, man, guys, if you don't want to see Binance, well, you know, it's a good question. Do you want to see Binance take care of banks and buy banks? And do you not want to see that? In a way that could be good, and in a way that could be bad. I don't know. We're going to have to see how that pans out. But the company will seek to strengthen its presence in Latin American country and comply with local regulations. This could be good for crypto. This could be great for Binance. Could be tough for the competitors. They might box out some of the other competitor exchanges. And some people do complain that Binance is very centralized, and it's kind of a kind of like the Facebook, I guess, of cryptocurrency exchanges. So we kind of always want to be aware and on the lookout for people that are coming in and trying to be the only solution and box everybody out. And I'm not saying that they're going to do that, but you always got to be on the lookout for that, because we're trying to better the world. This is really what the cryptocurrency movement's about, is bettering the financial structure of the world. And so we don't want any monopolies in any cryptocurrency exchanges, and we don't like monopolies. We don't like monopolies. So Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, is looking into acquiring banks and payment processors in Brazil. That's a story that we're going to see what more comes. There's not too much to this. I mean, they're clearly trying to buy more companies in non-crypto industries as a way of expanding the appeal of digital assets, which I like, just like a crypto.com when they bought the Staples Center down in LA. That was a big move, and that's going to help the adoption. You see that we're getting Super Bowl commercials now in cryptocurrency. That's going to help adoption as well. So that's another one. And, you know, I'm going to go back here because we were talking about $1 million Bitcoin, or Bitcoin price in the millions. This is a great new article. Bitcoin faces new milestone in 2022 as new forecast projects Bitcoin price in the millions. So this is a statement given by the former BitMEX CEO, sees Bitcoin in the 1 million BTC price range. And he gives a stark warning about what was to come for the global financial markets in his last Medium post. What is this all about? Well, I'm just going to go right to this. We'll do this. You cannot remove the world's largest energy producer and the collateral these commodity resources represent from the financial system with serious, unimagined, and unintended consequences, he reasoned. That's not the quote I was looking for. So here's the one. This is the magnitude of fiat-dominated price that will occur in the coming years as global trade is settled via neutral, hard monetary instruments and not the debt-backed fiat currencies of the West. Well, what does that mean? Neutral, hard monetary instruments. He's talking about crypto, guys. Neutral, hard monetary instruments. We don't want one country, one world power dominating the financial systems and It's good for America in a sense, but also it puts a target on our backs. And we need freedom. You know, we need each individual to own their own finances, not these institutions. That's the whole point of crypto. You're your own bank. And so when he's talking about when it is settled via neutral, hard monetary instruments and not the debt-backed fiat currency as the West, that goes back to what I was talking about a few minutes ago, where we're not looking to be run by a country. You know, this country is run by this monetary system where we're in trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, and the debt clock's going up daily. Nobody knows how to solve it. There's no solution in place for our debt clock. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And the dollar is getting devalued more and more and more. And since 1950, the dollar has decreased in value by 90%. You can buy 10% of what you would be able to buy in 1950 if you had $1 million in your bank. It would buy you 10% of what it would have bought you in 1950, which is why people are saying that being a millionaire, you know, $1 billion is the new million. Basically, it's in order to be a millionaire, you almost got to have $10 million. A millionaire doesn't really get you the American dream. It doesn't give you the ability to retire like it used to. You used to be able to buy 10 cars. Maybe you can buy a car if you can find one with the supply chain issues that are going on. But we're going to have to see what happens with Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. Again, these markets are pretty stagnant. As you can see, the way that we look at cryptocurrency here at the Crypto Report is It's the new financial system and it's on the way. Now, I don't want, for the record, Russian oligarchs and Putin to be able to avoid sanctions necessarily. But I also do get a little scared with, okay, it starts with regulating and sanctioning Russians, but then what happens when we start regulating and sanctioning people or creators on YouTube that are putting out a message that we don't like? That's where it gets really dangerous. And it's always, this is how things work. It starts with one, and then it moves to the next thing and the next thing and next thing. And once a precedent is set, just like the impeachment of a president, I'm curious to see, and I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to get impeached, and I'm not saying that he did, but just because, somebody got impeached, I wouldn't be surprised to see more impeachments to come in the future. We set a precedent, and then things start to happen more frequently. Once it's done once, it's what's the story if it happens again is kind of the thing here. So I don't want to see this bill passed by Senator Elizabeth Warren. What I do want to see is I want to make sure that we are getting regulation lightened over time to come instead of more regulation. We don't want more regulation, guys. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you guys do leave a comment in the chat box down below. What do you think about Senator Elizabeth Warren's bill? What do you think about the current financial institutions that are running the world and our country? Make sure you're letting us know what you guys want to hear about, and we're going to try to produce some content for you. So appreciate you guys. Have a great day. HODL, DCA, buy the dip. Later.